Louisiana beer reviews. This is sort of a revisit because we've done this before.
But it's not a revisit, kids. We're looking at 2021. The Forkin Woot Stout. And everyone, I'm sure if you don't know about Woot Stout's a collaboration between three brewers. One would be Will Wheaton from Next Generation, Star Trek. So the adage goes is that this is slightly barrel aged with pecans, and Woot Stout is always, they have like a mother, so the first Woot Stout is always in the next Woot Stout, the next Woot Stout.
Oh, like a sherry, like sherry where they keep pouring the old into the new and you never know what the age is because it could be from 200 years ago.
Yeah, okay. So this is rocking in at 11.5%. It's an imperial stout by our friends from Stone, and one of the three brewers that collaborates with this is the Stone brewer.
And they do this every year or so?
Every year.
But we don't always
get it. This is an annual release. We did not get this last year or previous year or previous year. And the ones that we did get, it came in a 22-ounce bomber. So this year we're fortunate enough to get 6-packs, and I saw it and there was only one 6-pack left on the shelf, so I went ahead and grabbed it. This is one of the most anticipated stouts of the year. In my opinion, this is fantastic.
And you got this at Ilios Wine Warehouse?
Ilios Wine Warehouse in New Orleans, Louisiana, near Tulane campus university.
We're not going to have a whole lot because 12 ounces doesn't go too far.
Doesn't get too far, but you know the good thing about this, I can try it 5 more times.
5 more times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
All right. So looking at this, the appearance is it's coming in dark like motor oil. Jay's on a cleaning frenzy in the middle of the video.
Sorry about that. Well, I mean, you know, it's right there on the thing. All right. Not much head.
Not much head at 11.5%. I'm looking at it. It is coming in kind of dark, real dark nut brown, mahogany colored.
What nut you ever saw that was that brown?
Well, that's what they call the beer. I remember way back in the day when we first got introduced to dark beers, it was always a nut brown ale.
Those Brazil nuts, maybe?
Perhaps. I mean, I don't know.
Which we didn't call them that when I was little. But anyway, all right. So,
yeah, so 11.5% alcohol. This is going to be a big one.
It's going to be a big one. Yeah. But we didn't drink any big ones today. Well, you might have. I didn't.
What you're talking about.
I drank, very low alcohol beers today, actually.
Down to business. Cheers.
That's actually a true story. I didn't drink any high alcohol. I mean, I did do the whiskey taste challenge at dawn, but that's a different.
Oh, one up to me.
But it was. All right, that's another story. All right. I can smell some bourbon barrel. Dark brown bread crust. Does it smell like dark brown bread crust?
Bourbon.
The dark malts, though, they give that dark bread.
Slight pecan. Like the label said, it's pecan.
Pecan, yeah. Talk about
It's got that turned fruit that you'd get off of a very old aged stout.
Turned fruit.
Yeah.
No.
It's slight. No, I'm smelling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pecans, wheat, and rye. So now you got all these grains. You got barley, you got wheat, you have rye, like a whiskey, barley, wheat, and rye.
Right.
But no corn, It's not a but in the bourbon barrel, so it's 11.5.
And you should get some bourbon or some bourbon rye off of it, I would think.
So wheated bourbon. All right. Anyway.
Well, what's the wheated? Weller. Rise would be the Willet.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So many rye whiskeys around.
Yeah, so it's playing off of those good flavors that you get off of those different styles of whiskeys that are coming out of America.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's taste it then.
I taste it. It's awesome. There's a lot going on with it.
A lot of wood, like dry wood. I don't mean
Wheat
char
forward.
now. No char. No.
No, it's wheat forward. There's some sweetness going on with it. It's probably coming from the pecan. The barley's definitely there. I mean, excuse me, the rye. The rye's there.
I think that's the dry wood. The pecan. It's almost like pecan shells.
Could be. I mean, a lot of people use, even with smoking meats, they'll use pecan shells after they crack the pecan out of it. They'll save the shells, soak them in water, and then put them on top.
I saw the first pecan on the ground out there yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Day before yesterday.
It's pecan season already?
It was on the ground.
Wow.
It's green, when they're green.
Right.
All right.
It must have fell off then. Kind of early for pecans.
Body. Yeah, usually it's the thing about October. Kind of early for Oktoberfest beers, but they're on the show. The body's not too heavy.
Mm-mm.
It's not thin like a porter, but it's a low level stout body. The finish is dry. Well, I guess most beers have dry finish. It's like I just think brown bread crust. I mean, I don't know how to describe beers too well. A lot of beers to me taste like bread crust. Because how do you say, oh, it tastes like barley? I mean, how many people do you know that go around eating barley? Not too many people.
I'm just going to step out there and say this one is a lot thinner in body than I remember in the past. I remember them coming out looking like thick motor oil. This one is It's a little lighter along the lines of like a porter, but it's got that whiskey forwardness going on. So the flavors are definitely there. I'm not really pleased with the body per se. I think it could have been thicker. It could have been a little bit more. I mean,
yeah, you noticed that was like the first thing I said.
This is the Woot Stout. So the Woot Stout is one of those sought after beers. It even says on their label, one of the most sought after stouts.
Well, when you're changing them up every year, you're going to get some differentiation.
Right.
They're not all going to be the same body. And the artist is a man named Tom Rainey, who has a history drawing comics at Marvel and DC, from X-Men to Batman. I think I remember Tom Rainey. I don't remember that name too well.
So how would you rate this?
Rye. It's got more rye than bourbon.
Yes. Right.
Somebody rated it by behavior, indicative of. Anyway, that's a sound effect, meaning gulp down.
I know what I'm going to rate it. I know what I'm going to rate it versus and I'm going to rate this in accordance with
Not
the Woot Stouts in the past.
4 ounces, huh?
So
3 ounces.
I mean, if we're ready to score, I'll give it a score.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm gonna give this like a 92.
A minus.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Because I think it's virgin. I think it's been rushed out. It's still a very good stout, but I'm looking at a body that's just not developed yet.
Well, they wanted to make a lighter body beer this year. It's a lot different.
I don't know when you call it something else, you don't call it Woot Stout. Because you don't put up Woot Stout, Woot Stout, Woot Stout, Woot Stout, and it's consistently one way.
Yeah, it's a lot different than the old
and then you drop it off to a porter style.
It's a lot different than the old variants we've tried.
Yeah.
See, you live close to Elio's Wine Warehouse.
Right.
You're on the same highway, but see, we don't get this stuff at Mathern's, and when Dixie ain't gonna sell it, Walmart's not gonna sell it. So if I'm gonna get craft beer, I have to get it at Mathern's here. Otherwise, I've got to drive at least 20 miles and
If not longer. Sometimes you gotta drive 30 to get it.
yeah, well, I'm talking about to go to Total Wine and More is 18 miles, I think, but maybe it's 20. But so I mean, I'm not gonna do that all the time. You just have a more varied selection.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm limited, but I'm really not that limited, because if you went to Mathern's, people would say, "What are you talking about? Look at all these singles on the shelf. What is all of this? This is like
Yeah, but
25."
the price variance that you have to deal with versus the selection of stores that I get deal with leads me into shopping down a better price versus
Yeah, because
you
if
being
you're in
restricted
a
to
small
one
town,
area.
a
Right.
small town, and there's no competition, common sense, you can do.
Raise the price.
Yeah, because St. James, you got 3 different parishes coming here. Well, maybe St. Charles goes into New Orleans, but they probably just easily come here. So anyway, I think it's a lot higher rye than the past. And I'm picking that rye up right now.
Yeah.
But the body is a little light. I think 92 is way too low. I'm gonna go 96.
I can't go any higher than the score that I gave, and that's just because I've had Woot Stout every year that I could pick it up. Ever since I started drinking Woot Stout, it was 2014, and I was really shocked and surprised that it left the area like it did, and then also shocked and surprised that we got it this year in the form of a 6-pack. Like I said, it usually comes in a 22-ounce bomber.
It's about what, $19.99 for the 6-pack?
It was $16.99. I got it either this white warehouse, which is pretty decent. But
Now I'm just listening to you. But like, remember that time you got aggravated with me and you told me, "What do you always say? Call it as you see it, right?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's what you gotta do."
and I'm a stout lover. I mean, I like old Rasputin. I like this. So this is kind of falling off. Much like Oscar Blues. 1050 fell off. I'm going to put this in the same category, and just going to, say I'm disappointed. It's still a good beer, but it's just not exactly what I expected this year.
It's not living up to your expectations.
Stone, I challenge you to come out with the old Woot Stout and sell it. If you're going to put it in a 6-pack, that's great. But hey,
They ain't gonna
make it
listen.
right.
They're not
Don't
listening
send
to
it
us.
out like this.
I say it's a 96, so keep sending it out like this, okay? Now,
92 and you're getting a good grade.
right. What
Could
do
be
you say?
less.
A-.
Oh man, I'm being double teamed. Well, that's pretty bad, but so 2 A minuses and an A. Okay.
I have nothing to compare it to.
All right.
I don't know what this-
Oh, so you don't have like experience with Woot Stout, okay? Well, okay, all right. I see how it works. But anyway, I'm glad I got to try it. You wanted me to save it for Stout Sunday. It would have certainly been a very interesting presentation there. But I thought we should try it together. So anyway, Laissez les bon temps relais with some questions about this, because I mean, after all, you're paying $17 a 6-pack minus a penny.
Minus a penny.
You do want something.
Hey, look, kids, if you see it somewhere, go ahead and pick it up. It's worth a try. It's not a bad beer. But coming from a Woot Stout person that always...
If it was a bad beer, we'd give it a D.
Right. That always tracks down the Woot Stout because you know what the Woot Stout's going to be. This is just something. This is just something that we put out because we want to, whatever. Maybe it's this thing that's doing it. I have no idea.
I doubt that. All right, anyway, so Laissez les bon temps relais, and we're going to end this review by saying, y'all come down to southeastern Louisiana.
Drink better beers.